Thinking Fast and Slow, by Daniel Kahneman. Introduction. Imagine this: you're walking through a forest and hear a sudden rustle in the bushes. Before you even think, your body tenses, fight or flight. Your mind has already decided, run. That's System 1, your fast, instinctive, emotional brain. Later that night, you lie in bed and wonder, was it a squirrel, or something else? Now you're thinking carefully. That's System 2, your slow, logical, effortful brain. This is what thinking fast and slow is all about: how we think, and more importantly, how we fail to think clearly. This book takes us on a journey into the machinery of our minds, uncovering biases, illusions, and mental shortcuts we rarely notice, but constantly rely on. Let's break it down into 4 key parts: the 2 systems, common thinking traps, why we fear loss more than we should, and how to use this awareness to make better choices. Part 1, System 1 versus System 2. Your brain runs on 2 operating systems. System 1 is fast, it's automatic, it makes snap decisions based on instinct, patterns, and emotion. It's always on. It's what makes you finish someone's sentence, laugh at a joke instantly, or swerve when something jumps into the road. System 2 is slow, it's deliberate, it does the heavy lifting when you solve a math problem, check your logic, or write an email that actually makes sense. System 1 is survival, System 2 is strategy. But here's the catch: System 1 usually takes the lead, and most of the time, that's fine, until it's not, because System 1 makes mistakes, it jumps to conclusions, it sees patterns where none exist, it feels true, even when it's not, and worse, System 2 is lazy, it doesn't like to work, so it often goes along with System 1's gut feelings, even if they're wrong. This is where most of our bad decisions come from: our fast brain guesses. Our slow brain rationalizes it after it feels logical, because it feels right, but it's just fast thinking disguised as reason. Part 2, Thinking Traps, Cognitive Biases. Kahneman identifies dozens of ways our fast brain tricks us. Here are a few of the most powerful. First, anchoring bias. You walk into a store and see a jacket labeled $800 marked down to $300. You think, what a deal! But is it really worth $300, or did the anchor, that big $800 number, change how you judge the price? We anchor to the first number we hear, and everything after that is compared to it. This affects salary negotiations, buying decisions, even legal judgments. Second, availability bias. After watching a plane crash on the news, some people avoid flying, even though statistically, flying is still incredibly safe. Why? Because dramatic events feel more available in memory. We confuse what's vivid with what's likely. It's why people overestimate crime, disasters, and shark attacks. Third, the halo effect. If someone is physically attractive or confident, we often assume they are smart, kind, or capable, without proof. That's the halo effect. One positive trait colors everything else. We do this with people, companies, even political candidates, and it blinds us to flaws. Fourth, the illusion of validity. We love confident predictions, but confidence doesn't equal accuracy. Your brain will believe in patterns, even when they're random. A stock analyst who's been right 3 times in a row. You think, they must be a genius. But they might have just been lucky. We overestimate our understanding, and underestimate the chance. Fifth, substitution. When faced with a hard question, like, should I hire this person? Your brain substitutes an easier one. Do I like them? You don't even notice the switch. System 1 does it automatically, because it feels faster, and this silent substitution leads to snap judgments that feel right, but might be wrong. Part 3, Loss Aversion Prospect Theory. One of Kahneman's biggest discoveries is this: we hate losing more than we like winning. This is called loss aversion. Losing $100 hurts more than gaining $100 feels good. That emotional imbalance distorts our decisions. It explains why investors panic when markets drop, even if logic says stay the course. It's also why we cling to bad choices. We don't want to admit we've lost, so we double down, hoping to break even. Kahneman calls this prospect theory. It's the idea that people evaluate outcomes based on relative change, not final results. We make decisions emotionally, not mathematically. Even the way something is framed changes our choices. This surgery has a 90% survival rate. Sounds safer than, this surgery has a 10% chance of death, even though both are identical. Framing matters, emotion drives logic, and that makes us vulnerable to manipulation. Part 4, How to Think Better. So, what can we do about all this? Here's the truth. You can't stop System 1. It's always on, but you can train yourself to recognize when it might be wrong. Kahneman doesn't say trust your gut or never trust it. He says, know when to slow down. Here are a few signs it's time to activate System 2. High-stakes decisions, money, risk, relationships, emotional spikes, fear, anger, excitement, overconfidence, when you feel too sure. Unclear logic, when something feels right but you can't explain why. Pause, step back, ask yourself, what is influencing me right now? What bias might be creeping in? And when in doubt, get a second brain. Ask someone else. The different perspective often reveals what your own brain misses. Conclusion, the mind mirror. Thinking Fast and Slow isn't just a psychology book, it's a mirror held up to the hidden forces in our mind. It shows us that our brain is brilliant, but also flawed, that we are irrational, but not helpless. By noticing the tricks of System 1 and activating System 2 when it counts, we can make clearer choices, avoid costly mistakes, and maybe, just maybe, think a little slower when it really matters. If you like listening to a summarized version of such books, please subscribe and encourage us to create more. Thank you for listening.